Welcome back to the Swing Low Podcast Show, man. It is yours truly, Do Creek. What is happening with all my people out there in the world today, man? I appreciate you all stepping back to this round table, especially today. Hold up one second. Let me cut this camera off because it's one thing that I forgot to load up, and I'm going to do that right now so y'all can know what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? One second, y'all. One second. Getting it together right now. You feel me? But thank you all, man, for stepping back to this roundtable. I appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? And this is what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or none of that. You know, um, this is something that affected me and still affect me deeply to this day. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people. I know a lot of y'all, especially those of y'all that sit at this round table with me, has in one way or another been affected by this disease called cancer. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was pretty important, man, to bring this to the round table and make this a true discussion. You know what I'm saying? Just based on we've all been affected in some way or another by this horrible disease. You feel me? I find myself every day in my mind about this disease, being that it's been many that was real close to me, connected to me, and somehow or another that lost their life to cancer. You know what I'm saying? And as of late, you know what I'm saying? It's really been on my mind because they just had a cancer walk. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? And I think that was pretty fly. You know what I'm saying? For that consideration to be there. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what environment you may be in or where you at in your life. You know what I'm saying? The effectiveness of losing somebody to this horrible disease, man, you know what I'm saying? It's universal. It's a pain that never go away. You left with many questions. You left with many questions after losing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's people that's in your family. Now, I really don't bring to the internet like my personal life, you know what I'm saying, of what's affected my family, what's affected me, you know what I'm saying? But being that this is something that's reoccurring in my mind all the time, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? Plus the people that I plan on talking about today, like I said, near and dear to my heart. Very, very. And on behalf of them, I say fuck cancer, man. Fuck cancer, man. All of y'all that's tapped in right now, you know what I'm saying? Bang that in the chat in honor of the people that you may have lost in your life to this horrible disease, or somebody that you may have been associated with, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. If you've been affected by this horrible disease, man, bang it in the chat. Fuck cancer. You feel me? Because that's what we about today. And I'm saying that in honor of all the people that I've lost. All the people that I've lost, man. Fuck cancer. And if you happen to be catching the show late and not on the live stream, you know what I'm saying? Hey, go ahead and hit the comment section. Fuck cancer in honor of if you've lost anybody, if you've been affected by this horrible disease, man, bang that in the chat. That lets me know that you care, that you in tune and that we all on the same page. You know what I'm saying? We all family here at this round table, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't have a problem with bringing this type of stuff to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because when I talk to my family about this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, as much as we talk about it, we can never make sense of the loss. The pain never go away. I don't care what nobody say. You feel me? Going through um photos and stuff that I brought for y'all, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures of the people that I lost in my life and why it affected me so much. You know what I'm saying? Going through this stuff, it just reignited everything, like the feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell y'all about each one of these people. You know what I'm saying? And how I felt when I found out that they passed away. You know what I'm saying? But to anybody, any of y'all out there that's viewing this, that's here at this round table today, you know what I'm saying? I send all my love to y'all, support, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this brings some warmth and you know to you and your family, you know what I'm saying, as well as our round table family. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always told y'all, man, we bring stuff here and we try to figure it out. If we can't, we just deal with all this shit together as one. You know what I mean? But look, the first person I'm gonna bring up right now, man, um, I met this person back in 1991, I believe, right? 1991. I believe she was probably about 14, 15 at that time. She was a couple of years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? But this is one of my ex-girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Her name was Nicole Dortch. This is Nicole Dortch. Now, what y'all need to know about her, man, is I remember a bright-eyed, innocent young girl that loved me and made me love her deeply. I remember spending nights at her house. You know what I'm saying? Her mom's, grandmother, aunties, even her little sister Ebony. You know what I'm saying? Back then, they all loved me and they embraced me into their household. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was a place I was always able to go to. They had that big old house in Glendora. I believe it was the only house on that street. It was on the main street, a historical house that had been around for hundreds of years. They lived in big house. But I remember going over there, man, with her, spending many nights with her. You know what I'm saying? And just with her family and just chilling and vibing. You know what I'm saying? And this went on for quite some time. Me and Nicole dealt with each other for years. You know what I'm saying? And just like any other relationship, we was young, man. So just like any other relationship, you had your ups, you had your downs. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I believe I was a horrible boyfriend to her. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, again, I was young. So when you're young, you feel like you gotta explore your options and shit, right? Well, at least that's how I felt at that time. Although I had a very incredible person that was in my life, who was her, Nicole. You feel me? And you know, as years went on, you know what I'm saying, we eventually grew apart and you know, she went on to do her thing, I went on to do mine. But when I did get back in contact with her, which was through my little brother Rico, my little brother Rico, man, he did an incredible thing that at that time I didn't appreciate because I was in a situation where I felt that, I had to honor a different situation I was in at that time. I'm just put it like that. But it was wrong. But anyway, when my brother reconnected me and Nicole back together, which was a beautiful, wonderful thing, man, or he attempted to at that time, me and my ignorance and stupidity, I responded in a very, very negative way. And see, and this is why I tell y'all, I don't the way that I look and view social media, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all these other outlets, you know, I have a completely different perspective on these things now because of that situation right there. You feel me? And I responded in an extremely negative way that I will have to live with for the rest of my life. Although my little brother forgave me, and most importantly, Nicole forgave me because I disrespected her, not knowing at that time when my brother was trying to reconnect us, not to be together or nothing like that, but he knew that she had cancer. And I don't believe at that time he felt like she was dying from it. She didn't feel like she was dying from it, but at the same token, he knew she was sick. So to try to bring some type of joy and comfort back to her, he tried to reconnect us so we can talk. And my stupid ass responded in the most negative way that you could possibly respond, not knowing. But either way, you know what I'm saying? Whether I knew she had that disease or not, I still took the wrong approach to that. I got to live with that for the rest of my life, and I do. But again, once I found out what was going on, I've made it my business to not just get in contact with Nicole, but to apologize to her, in which this woman was so graceful, man. She forgave me. She forgave me. You feel me? And that's the one thing that I can definitely feel good about. You know what I'm saying? It took some time for me and my brother to get back on track with each other, but eventually we did. And I'm thankful for that. That's the best, that's one of the best things that ever happened for me. Me and my brother getting back on track after this. But with Nicole, after she forgave me, we stayed in contact with each other because I understood what she was dealing with. She had cervical cancer. And I remember talking to her, saying and doing whatever I could, you know, to bring her comfort, which means I was on the phone with her every day while she was going through chemotherapy, in which she hated. I remember her telling me, like, I can't do it no more. After this round, I can't do it no more. And I'm like, what is you telling me? You telling me that you want to stop fighting for your life? And she described to me how horrible it was. That's something I couldn't even imagine because that's something I've never been through. But if somebody is describing to you that's dealing with chemotherapy, listen to it. Listen to them, man. Sympathize with that shit because I just remember Nicole going through a lot of different mood swings. I remember her being loving at one time and the next just mad. You feel me? But that was the drugs and everything that they had her on dealing with this shit. But I never, I understood. So I never tripped on any of the stuff that she said to me because I knew what she was going through. Then it came to a point where, they was talking about doing an operation on her to remove, you know, some of her insides where she wouldn't be able to have kids no more. And I remember her really, really tripping on that because she didn't have any kids. You feel me? And I remember our last interaction with each other. We messaged each other on Messenger, and I remember telling her like, "Look, when you get better, I want you to come see me. I want you to make a promise. You come see me." You feel me? And she did, but she also made me promise not to be all sad. You know what I'm saying? And thinking about this shit in a negative light, meaning that shit was gonna turn out bad. She made me promise that. And as much as I knew that she was going through, I had to fight to make that promise in my mind. And then I remember her telling me, because I got on her, I'm like, man, you haven't wrote me, you haven't did this, you haven't did that. And I remember her telling me how much pain that she was in, how much pain she was having with her fingers after an operation that she had. I believe it was probably the last operation that they did on her. Right. But she did describe to me that how much pain that she was in which, by the way, that operation that they did on her is, I believe, they messed up. They done something wrong. And after that, we didn't talk no more. And I remember the very last thing that I seen her post, probably a day or two after that, she posted on Facebook that she was back at the hospital and was waiting. And she was tripping on like her being in and out the hospital a lot. You know what I'm saying? And before I got a chance to reach out to her after reading that day she posted that was the day she passed away. She died the same day. This happened in 2016. She passed away in 2016. That's why I tell y'all at the end of every show to love and appreciate each other and let each other know this. Because we don't never know what fate is going to throw at us. We don't never know. Some shit just be out of our control. God starts steering the wheel on everything. That's why I always tell y'all to let each other know how much y'all love and appreciate each other. Because we don't never know who we're going to wake up and not have. Never. This disease is horrible. It's horrible. It's taken a lot of incredible people, especially those that was close to me. Now, this next person, this was the most horrible, horrible loss that I personally have ever taken, the most horrible loss that my family has ever taken. Ever. It's my Uncle Darcel. My Uncle Darcel, man. Big Darcel Hannah. People call him Big Door. You know, extremely loved and respected in and outside of my family by many people. See, he wasn't just a legend in the street, because trust me, in the streets, this dude was like, to me, I looked at him like the biggest superstar hero that was on earth. Period. You feel me? To the people in the streets, you know what I'm saying? My uncle, man, he was from 99 Mafia Crib, West Side 99 Mafia Crib. You know what I'm saying? Some called him Mafia Cell, Cell Low, or just simply Big Door. To me and my family, this was Uncle Darcel. He passed away from pancreatic cancer, 2015. I remember that day, man. Now, before that fateful day happened, leading up to it, I'm hearing different things about his health declining and, you know, whatnot. I attempted to reach out and call him and got his voicemail. Never got to talk to my uncle during those times where he was fighting for his life to the bitter end. Y'all have to understand how significant this person was to me in my life, in my family. So when I tell you that this was the most horrible loss that we took, believe that. Believe that. But I remember the day I got that news. I was in Corcoran State Prison, SAT-F, Sea York. And I remember I was going out to work that morning. That day was clear. It was bright. It wasn't too hot. Sky was blue. And on my way out to work, somebody came and told me, they was like, hey man, Potato Head wanna holler at you. Potato Head is from Pasadena, Denver Lane, right? Extremely close to my uncle and the family out there in Pasadena. So I'm like, okay. So I make my way over to Potato Head's cell. Potato Head tell me, he said, hey man, he said, you holler at your family? I said, no, not yet. He said, all right, well look. He said, I got some real bad news to tell you. When he said that, I already knew what it was. I already knew, because remember, leading up to this, I'm hearing, how his health was declining. But I was not ready for that shit. But also at the same time, I was glad that I had this person there to tell me. You feel me? He said, man, your uncle passed away. He passed away. And I just remember standing there, man, in silence, looking at him. You feel me? In disbelief. Trying to make sense of shit in my head. Shit wasn't adding up, wasn't making sense. I just felt rage, anger, pain, got lost in my thoughts. And I'm standing there at Potato Head door, cell door, just zoned out while he talking. So I remember telling him like, all right, I don't want to hear no more, man. I'm gone. And I walked off. You feel me? And I still went to work. And I remember just standing outside looking up at the sky, man. That's how I remember how it was blue. How the sky was blue, clear. In my head, I'm questioning God. I'm questioning everything. I'm mad. You feel me? And then I just remember like I can't wait to get back inside my cell. So I got back finally, thinking that, you know what? I'm gonna break down. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That moment of me breaking down. Thankfully, I was in the cell by myself at that time. But that happened on the day of my uncle's funeral. That's when everything came crashing in on me. A grown ass man with my whole face in my hands, crying, mad as fuck, sock in the air. I really, really wanted to hurt something or somebody. I wanted to hurt somebody bad. I wanted to be mad at somebody bad and couldn't. Who could I have been mad at? There was nobody to be mad at. This was what I was dealing with in my head, thinking about my Uncle Darcel. No longer here on this earth. This is the person that every time he came around us, he gave all the kids money. All the kids got money every single time he came around. And he gave my mama money. Christmas, Christmas wasn't always good because we was broke and poor. So whatever money my mom's had, she had to spend on taking care of our household, in which she did a great job at. She did her best. Sometimes Christmas came, man, and it wasn't enough for no presents and shit. But guess who always came through because he knew. You feel me? The first bike I was ever able to call mine came from him. A Christmas present, a brand new 10 speed. I'll never forget that. He brought us all gifts when we had nothing. We had none. He made that happen for us. Put money in my mama's pocket when she needed it. She wasn't the type that was going around asking people for nothing. She's a very prideful woman. Very. But my uncle understood that. And he also understood you don't never have to ask me for nothing. I got you. And he did. And he just got down like that with the entire family. So yeah, his presence is always gonna be missed deeply. Always. My little cousin, them little Darcel and them, they celebrate my uncle every single year. Shout out to my little cousin, Lord Darcel, and all his brothers and sisters. Shout out to all of them. It's a lot of them. You feel me? Shout out to that whole entire side of my family, all the Hannahs in Pasadena. Shout out to all y'all. Rest in peace to my little cousin, Dario. But this was a great loss to my family, man, and to the community, period. because he done a lot of great things for a lot of people, a lot. And that's something that can't nobody ever, I would never let nobody sleep on my Uncle Big Darcel, ever. That's my mama's little brother. Seeing her pain and her hurt at the loss of her little brother, man, y'all got to remember, my mom's been on her own since she was 15 years old. I'm her first child. So that means I've seen a lot of what she had to go through. And I remember my Uncle Darcel coming to stay with us during them times. You feel me? When he was in the street, he was banging. You know what I'm saying? So my first introduction to any gang banging shit was through him. It was inevitable for me not to become a Crip because I've seen it around me my whole entire life through him. And like I said, he contributed so much to our family, even back then. It's just been his character, his whole entire life of me knowing him. That was my favorite uncle. You feel me? He was everybody's favorite. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. Everybody's favorite. You feel me? That can never be downplayed or forgotten, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle was just a historical legend and still is, you know what I'm saying, to this very day. His presence will always be deeply missed, point blank, period. But I got one more person that I want to bring to y'all, man, that we just lost this year, a few months ago. Well, I ain't gonna say a few months ago. It's been some months, right? But this is the person in which why we are all here. Me, my mama, my uncles, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, everybody. You feel me? And that's my grandmother. That's my grandmother. You feel me? That's her and my Uncle Darcel. My grandmother passed away this year, man, from brain cancer, right? And I believe at the time that this particular picture right here was taken was after they both had found out that they both had been diagnosed with cancer. My uncle Darcel with pancreatic cancer and my grandmother with brain cancer. At the time that this photo was taken, they both knew that they had this disease. Both passed away from cancer, no longer here on this earth with us. My grandmother, man, was feisty, smart, intelligent, but played no games. She called a ball, a strike a strike. That's where I get it from. A lot of my snappiness and all that, man, I get that from her. I get that from my mama. She played no games at all. Strict in a lot of ways. And she made sure that you knew exactly how she felt. And she didn't care about cutting you off if she needed to cut you off. Whatever she needed to do to get her point across to you, trust me, she was going to do it. And she was going to say it. You feel me? But this loss right here, man, this was a deep one. This one cut deep. This one cut real deep. I never understood, why people had to go through this. You feel me? It's my understanding, man. Like when my grandmother was on her last days here on this earth, she functioned as if nothing was wrong. My brother and them was telling me, like, hey, man, grandma's is still like like we can't tell that nothing's wrong with her because she still be on her tip. I'm like, yeah, it's like, man, I'm telling you, feisty as ever. This was on her last days here on this earth. You feel me? And see her waving in this picture? That's so symbolic. I got to talk to her probably a year and a half ago for the first time in a long time. And she was happy. I was happy. But I never got the chance to say my goodbyes to my grandmother. So being able to find this picture, I got many pictures of her, you know. This one, it's like I get to say goodbye to her. So I bring her here to this round table to say goodbye to my grandmother and allow my Swain Glow family round table members as well to say goodbye to her, although I know y'all didn't know her. But let's say goodbye to all our loved ones that we lost from this horrible disease. You feel me? But knowing my grandmother and knowing how particular she was, this is how she would want me and my family and everybody else to remember her while saying goodbye. Riding off into heaven on that motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? That's how she would want to be remembered, man. I'm thankful that I'm able to honor these great people that has been, you know, instrumental throughout my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? And not forgetting them, not coming here to shed tears because each and every one of them, that was the last thing they probably would have wanted. Nah, don't cry. Honor them. Celebrate them. Celebrate their greatness. While at the same time, we forever saying, fuck cancer. Fuck it. Hey, I just wanted to bring that to y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. You know what I'm saying? And you know, be thankful for being able to wake up every day with good health, with good people in your life, in my life, that love and care for you. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, I appreciate all y'all stepping back to this roundtable today. You know what I'm saying? This definitely has been a special edition of Swang Low. You know what I'm saying? This is very, very difficult for me to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I needed to. With so many people dying from this disease, how can you not think about yourself and your own health? I think about it every day. Every day, we got to be conscious of what's going on in our health, man, and with our loved ones. You feel me? But look, on that note, I'm gonna let y'all go. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all stepping back to this roundtable. I'm thankful that I have the supporters that I have. You know what I mean? I love y'all. This wouldn't be nothing without y'all. You know what I'm saying? And y'all the ones that make me comfortable enough to bring this to the ground table, man, and share with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, y'all continue to love each other, appreciate each other. Let everybody that you love and care for know that before it's too late. Before it's too late. Let's not wake up and find out that somebody gone and then you realize, damn, I didn't even get a chance to say this or say that. Let's not wait for that. Let's do that now while we can. You feel me? On that note, y'all stay safe out there. Be a blessing to somebody. Try to be a blessing to somebody. A blessing don't mean financial. A blessing means just being present. Somebody might need your ear. Somebody might just need a conversation. A blessing is a blessing, man. On that note, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. To the next time we step back to this round table, man, y'all be safe out there. Be good to each other. Triple gang.